An amazing power was released from the whole body of Goku. That's right, the power beyond even a grand priest, because a Saiyajin, being humiliated in such a way, would prefer death. However, Goku would manage to channel all that frustration and turn it into an incredible power. So much so that at this moment, each and every one of the 12 universes would tremble due to all the incredible power that released the body of Goku. I will end that damned bastard. I can't believe he was able to humiliate me in this way. He, being a Saiyajin, knows that we prefer death to being humiliated. Goku uncontrollably would continue to release a great power throughout the Xeno Palace. Due to the sudden increase in his powers, the deities along with the guardians of the kingdom of Xeno would quickly notice the change of Goku. However, the astonishment of Xeno was noticeable. Due to the multiple marks that he had on his clothing, Goku was able to wear them on his own body. I can't believe what I'm seeing. Goku has been able to access the state comparable to a king of everything, or even a being with the energy of creation, since those marks are the Omni marks, also known as the celestial marks. Celestial marks, sir? I've never heard of that power. Do you also have those celestial marks, sir, or what is all that power due to? I only have one celestial mark, although I must admit that it is one of the most powerful marks, since it is the one that is formed in the center of your head, that is, the flow of energy. I understand. So really, our little Goku has been able to access a power that is even capable of being compared to the great Xeno. This is amazing. From a great silver light, as well as a few rocks floating all over the place, you could see Goku's new appearance. His gaze had even changed drastically, due to the fact that this time, the power that ran through his entire body was complete madness, causing even the 12 universes to continue with great pressure. Goku, please try to stay in control, since if you continue with that rhythm, I'm sure your body won't be able to assimilate it. No, Mr. Grand Priest, let me release all your power. Even I, who am not a Saiyan, would feel humiliated. So let me release all your power so that you are able to have a lower charge of energy. I understand, my lord, and of course I understand that you release all your power, but if you continue with that rhythm, I'm sure your whole body can even explode. Instantly, Goku's voice would interrupt the conversation of both. Mr. Grand Priest, I appreciate the concern you have for me, but don't worry, because although I feel a great power running through my entire body, I know that my body would not be able to bear it. On the contrary, I have the risk of exploding into thousands of pieces. So, you've had everything under control. I was a little worried. Don't worry, Mr. Grand Priest. I must confess that I am annoyed by the great humiliation that Akuma gave me, but I'm sure I have the power to even become much more powerful, and I just want to dominate all this great power. Although I must confess that this will not be easy, since the power beyond a Grand Priest and even the power of creation is not easy at all. So, you will have to resort to rigorous training in order to fully master it. Of course I know, Xeno, so I count on you. Currently, I want to dominate this great power a little to be able to access this transformation at will. Goku, in his new transformation of Super Saiyan God UFO, would begin to channel all his power with the intention of being able to return to that state in the future. But after a few hours of meditation, Goku would try to stand up. However, hundreds of rays could be observed throughout the Xeno Palace. What are these rays? Where are they from? Before Goku was able to finish his sentence, hundreds of purple rays were released from his entire body, while multiple screams of pain were heard throughout the Xeno Kingdom. Because of this, the deities went out to see what was happening, realizing how the power beyond a god, an angel, a priest, and even a bull king had a great price to pay. From what I have been able to investigate in this short period of time, the power beyond a god, an angel, a priest, and even a bull king has a great price to pay, as it is the first time that the body is forced to endure all that new power. Goku's screams would cease, while at the moment Goku would fall to the ground out of combat. Meanwhile, on a planet far away, he was comfortable while meditating in the same way. However, he had a look of joy. After so many millions of years, I have been able to find the warrior who will be able to give a legendary battle. I was always right, Charlotte. I want you to become much more powerful, Goku. Show me the power beyond your limits. Meanwhile, on the planet of Beerus, the angel and god of destruction would undergo a rigorous training in order to become much more powerful. Despite being the most powerful god of the 12 universes, I was humiliated in the worst possible way. I can't allow this, so I plan to have the most difficult training of my entire life with the intention to exceed all my limits. I, being the most powerful angel of all the 12 universes, only below Grand Priest, I was humiliated. This is unacceptable. For that same reason, I will exceed the limits of an ordinary angel. I affirm that I will reach the same level as Grand Priest Sama. The training of both ages would begin. Meanwhile, in the kingdom of Zeno, a few days had elapsed. However, in all this time, a dark energy warrior was stalking all the 12 universes. His power was so powerful that none of those present were able to notice all the power of the new warrior. This is very interesting. I, being even a demon of ancient times, never heard of the raising of a mere mortal in the hands of the most powerful beings of this multiverse, since my multiverse would have ended with that brat. The new warrior, who proclaimed himself as a demon, had observed everything that had happened millions of years ago. Due to this, he was even much older than Grand Priest and Zeno. Although these subjects are called the authorities of all the 12 universes, that is nothing more than a simple scoundrel, since that subject named Akuma has a much greater power than theirs. But I will give him a visit. I want to fight the supposed visionary. Yoruma, at an amazing speed, began to move through each and every one of the 12 universes. Akuma, for his part, was meditating on his planet. However, after a few seconds of his meditation, everything around him would change quickly, while a slight presence would fall over the whole body of Akuma, which instantly opened his eyes, releasing a pressure. Due to this, both pressures would be completely neutralized, while from the shadows the new warrior could be observed.
I don't know who the hell you are, but if you've had the guts to come to the planet where I am, I'll give you a chance. Get out of here on the count of 3, and I won't end your miserable life. Very arrogant words for a being that would not be able to do anything against me. So I accept the challenge. I want you to be able to end my life. Don't make me laugh. Even the highest level beings respect me. With you, who doesn't even belong to the gods, I'm able to treat you like my boxing bag. What do you think if we prove it? Or are you afraid? Akuma's expression would change drastically as he began to approach his opponent. Being both face-to-face, Akuma would release much more power with the intention of intimidating him. But to his surprise, the subject would release much more power than in all his aura. A hellish demon would form, leaving Akuma paralyzed. Wow, I didn't expect this. I didn't think you'd have enough visual power to see how my aura materialized. But now that you've been able to see my aura a little, do you think you can do anything against me? I must confess that you have surprised me with that great aura you possess, but don't think you'll be able to intimidate me with your simple aura. Right now, I'll show you the power you'll never be able to overcome, so pay attention. Akuma, without trusting the slightest, would begin to access 100% of all his power. That's right, Akuma's hair would begin to turn a little silver while all the pressure was released. However, being very far from the 2 universes, his pressure would not be perceived by any of the beings of the Sunosuna Palace. Akuma, at the end, would release all his great power. Without containing himself in the slightest, he would attack his enemy. But his fist, a few centimeters away from being about to connect, that great infernal aura would be able to move at will, stopping the blow of his opponent, while Yomura was staring at him. It's a shame you're not able to hit me, but I must admit that although that blow would have connected my face, you would not have been able to cause me the slightest damage. Akuma, surprised by how he had stopped the blow of that aura, would try to back down a bit. However, it would be impossible for him, since the aura had completely neutralized him. Just as I did not move from the same place, I hope you do not move from your place either, since I plan to make you try only one of my direct blows. Yomura would execute a slight blow, but despite looking weak, that blow would be powerful enough to send Akuma flying from one planet to another, while he vomited large amounts of blood. Damons, no! How is he able to cause me so much damage in one blow? Who the hell is this subject? I'm not even able to understand the limit of his strength. Akuma would notice how the planet on which he had been crashed began to destroy itself because that aura of Yomura had spread throughout the place. You are the most powerful pillar of this entire multiverse, so I hope that is not all your power, since otherwise you will have disappointed me. Akuma would stand up while he spat a little blood. Clearly, I will have to use everything with you. Which will be annoying will be that great aura that you possess, but it is a pity that I in no way am able to free my spiritual soul. Spiritual soul? What the hell is that? What I am using is my own aura. Although, of course, I should not waste time trying to explain it to you. You are so weak that you would not be able to understand techniques of the highest level. What do you think if you attack me again? Now I have thought about using all my techniques, since I can realize that you come with the intention of ending my life. Yomura swung against Akuma, while his aura in the same way began to execute hundreds of blows on Akuma's body. However, throughout the place, an incredible Ozaru could be observed, while a great roar was able to make the aura of Yomura retreat, while Akuma was holding Yomura tightly. I plan to return the blow you have given me, but you must feel fortunate that I am a benevolent being, since I have not left you completely immobilized. But before Yomura is able to respond to something, Akuma would connect a great blow to Yomura's stomach, sending a few mountains, destroying them completely. I must leave here quickly, since despite using all my techniques, I will not be able to defeat him. I hate to admit it, but the power of this miserable subject is much higher than mine. Akuma would try to leave the whole place, but he would notice that the planet where they were had been sealed by a dark energy. Since you were able to release all that great power, I knew you would try to escape instead of facing me, so for that same reason, I decided to seal the planet. Damn it. What I least like is asking for help, but knowing this miserable subject has almost unlimited energy reserves, apparently I will have no alternative. Akuma would concentrate on establishing a mental connection with Goku. Goku, I know you must be somewhat upset by the humiliation I have been able to grant you, but I never intended to end you. But I need your help, and that of the whole divine kingdom, since an extremely evil being has appeared with the intention of destroying all the 12 universes. But if you were Akuma, what the hell has happened? I just woke up not long ago, but I cannot believe what you have told me. Your power is incredible. It's hard for me to believe that a being has managed to overcome you. It is not the time for that, Goku. I really need your help, since if this subject is capable of ending my life, I am sure that the next one on his list will be the whole kingdom of Zeno. The connection would be interrupted because Yomura would begin with his great attack, while his two auras had a great battle. However, in close combat, Akuma, despite being an expert, began to see himself surpassed, as well as the blows of his opponent were much more devastating, causing Akuma's power to begin to decrease slowly. Due to this, the energy of his aura in the same way began to lose ground against Yomura's aura. Damn it, this miserable subject. The more the combat advances, the more he is capable of cornering me. If the combat continues like this, although it is difficult for me to admit it, I will be defeated. What happens, Akuma? I thought you had too much confidence in your power. But after all, you were nothing more than a simple mortal who had the fortune of getting some divine power. But you will continue to be the same garbage as the others.
Akuma at this time was unable to do anything against Yoruma, beginning to receive a beating. However, before receiving his last blows, Zeno in his form of combat would appear on one side of Akuma, stopping the blow, while Goku along with the other gods and angels would reach the battlefield. We have reached Akuma, although we have a battle pending. Grand Priest, please heal all his wounds, since we will need his power. Goku, at the moment with a very serious look, began to access the state of UFO God. An incredible power began to free itself throughout the place. This time it was an extremely incredible power, which had even left Akuma surprised, completely unreal, that a being capable of achieving all that power in a few days, and not counting that Goku had remained out of combat. How have you been able, Son Goku, to achieve all that power? It is an extremely incredible power. Even for me to reach those levels would take me a few months. Goku's power was still rising in a great way, but something that had even left Yuruma amazed were the marks that his body began to obtain, because Yuruma, belonging to a much more advanced multiverse, his knowledge of UFO power was much higher. How have you been able to attain around this multiverse to be able to access the UFO marks? That is a complete madness, since even I, who belong to a much better multiverse, I have not been able to reach the UFO marks. UFO marks? I never heard of that kind of power, but apparently it is a power far beyond the power I possess. But if it were like that, how was he able to get it? Grand Priest, with his great angelic power, would be able to heal all the wounds that had been caused in Akuma's body. Thanks to this, he would be able to have a great increase in his power, so he began to approach where Goku was. However, it was impossible for him because the extortion of all his power was able to make him retreat a few meters throughout the battlefield. I definitely never thought that a Saiyan like him would be able to reach those limits, but it is something that makes me completely proud, is that we Saiyan gods have been able to compare ourselves to beings of energy of the highest rank. I agree with you, Akuma. I am surprised that this little Saiyan has been able to completely change my mentality about all of you. Since being a warrior race, I always thought that you would have in mind to end the 18 universes. I'm sorry, Grand Priest, although at first it was like that. I don't know when our ideals began to change, or rather my personal ideals, since thanks to that we were able to improve as warriors. At the moment, the conversation of both would be interrupted by a great roar from Goku, due to the fact that this time Goku would release all his power, achieving that everything around him was destroyed, while the 100% of the UFO god could be observed. I'm ready. I'm sorry for the wait, but I'm still not able to master all this power. I don't know how the hell I haven't been able to feel your omnipotent energy, but I don't care how you've been able to get all that power. I plan to absorb you to make me with the UFO marks. Yuruma would move at great speed against Goku, but no matter how fast he was, this time he would not be able to do anything against Goku, because even though his aura began to attack him, Goku was able to dodge each and every one of his blows. Goku has the Ultra Instinct to all its splendor, but even with the power of the Ultra Instinct, it should be difficult for him to dodge all those blows. Is that the power of the UFO marks? I don't even know how he was able to get all that power. I agree with you, my lord, since Mr. Goku was out of combat for a few days. After he tried to dominate that state, I don't know when he was able to dominate it to that level. All I can say is that Goku is a complete prodigy. Since dominating the divine energy is complex, the Ultra Instinct, even no god has managed to dominate it. I can't imagine how complex it would be to dominate the UFO marks, and Goku has done it. So the difference in power is abysmal. On that occasion, I was able to defeat him thanks to the fact that he had not been able to reach his maximum splendor as a warrior. But Akuma has no reason to feel that way, since after all, you have been the most powerful warrior in this multiverse for millions of years. Even Zeno in his form of combat was not able to defeat him, despite having a UFO mark. I don't feel humiliated, Grand Priest. On the contrary, I am proud to know that one of my descendants has managed to reach this level. The most chaotic battle of all that multiverse would begin, while the gods along with the angels were in the atmosphere of the entire planet, using their maximum powers to seal the entire planet completely, with the intention that the battle would not extend to all the other universes. Grand Priest, I want you to be of support in the barrier of the angels, since with your power they will not be able to withstand for long, and we cannot allow all that power to extend to all the two universes. Of course, my lord, as you order. Grand Priest with his great speed would reach aside of the angels, beginning to channel a large part of all his power, with which he was able to maintain a constant balance in the barrier. For his part, Zeno and Akuma continued to observe the great battle, in which they could not observe a clear winner because both were very equal. However, second after second, Goku began to pressure Yuruma much more. Because of this, Yuruma's power began to slowly decrease, since despite having great reserves of energy, they were not illimited. Goku dodging one of his blows and holding his leg would make him crash at the base of the planet, while Goku began to approach very slowly throughout the degenerated crater. You are very powerful, but that is the only thing you possess, since I am sure that if you and Akuma had the same power, Akuma would be able to sweep the floor with you, since his experience in the battlefield is much better than yours. Are you comparing me to that miserable Akuma? Don't say stupid things, damn mortal.
In my best days, I was an adorable god of the highest rank, so do not compare me to a pathetic mortal partner like Akuma. I do not care who you have been. You are not capable of doing anything against me. Even now, I know that you are trying to catch me completely with your aura, but try it, since I completely trust my aura, and I will be able to completely repel it. Yaruma, annoyed, would try to absorb Goku with all his aura, but the moment that aura surrounded Goku's entire body, a silver aura would rise all over the place, because Yaruma's aura had completely exploded due to Goku's excess energy. I, like an ancient god, have multiple techniques, and to take the luck, in this place there are several important warriors for you, who can become part of my power. Damn, the battle is between you and me, so I will not let you do anything against them. That is not a simple game. In the battlefield, everything is allowed, so I want you to observe and tell me, what will you be able to do now? Supreme Divine Snatch. A great pentagram would form all over the place, while the power of all the angels, God, Zeno, and Akuma would become part of Yaruma's power. Due to this, an incredible aura would rise all over the place, while the planet where they were would explode completely due to the excess of energy that released Yaruma's body. That damn bastard has absorbed the power of all my friends, but apparently it is only his power that their body follows the barrier that I was able to form at the last moment, since in case I had not done it, they would have died. I must admit that I feel very irritated for having to use Divine Snatch in this multiverse, but when I am able to beat you, I plan to absorb you completely. Even your bones will be part of me. This only confirms what I had in doubt. You really do not know how to fight, since an experienced warrior would not absorb the power of all the present warriors, since the load on his body would be complete madness. Therefore, he would sacrifice speed. Do not say stupidities. A god of the highest rank cannot suffer such side effects, so I plan to show it to you right now. Yaruma, when trying to lunge against Goku, would realize how his body would be much heavier. That's right, it even seemed that it weighed thousands of tons. Due to this, Goku would take advantage of the carelessness of the god, connecting an incredible blow to his face, making him fall to a planet again, while Goku began to descend everywhere. I warned you, but you did not listen. The power you currently have exceeds the power your body is capable of controlling. For that reason, you have become slower. No, damn it, this can't be happening to me. I was one of the elite warriors of Multiverse 1. I cannot finish in these pathetic conditions. I think it's time to end your damned existence, since after all, you will not be able to control all that power, and if you are able to reverse the technique, you do not have the power required to face me. Yaruma, who had never experienced terror in his life, would feel like his whole body atrophy. However, with his pride, he would continue with the battle. However, he had no chance against Goku. Due to this, Goku would put one of his hands in front of him. I must confess that I am surprised that you have not tried to flee or beg for your life. That is admirable, but it is a pity that I have decided to put an end to this fight. Goku, with a great attack in the palm of his hands, would make a great spiral form all over the place, while at the same time a great explosion would be generated all around him. That's right, Goku had ended Yaruma's life, an exiled being from Multiverse 1. Goku would instantly observe how all beings of divine energy could not recover their energy, so Goku, releasing much more power, would be able to transmit a little of his energy to all beings of divine energy. Thanks to this, they were able to stand up again. That was dangerous. I did not know that this subject had a technique like that, but it was not enough to defeat Goku. Goku will be named as the supreme god of this multiverse, since he is even a being that surpasses the power of the great Zeno. I agree with Grand Priest. Goku will be the protector of this multiverse, and for me, it will be the greatest of honors, since I have seen him grow up since he was a simple child, and see how he has been able to overcome me, fills me with pride completely. Zeno, Grand Priest Sama, if you allow me, I would like to be part of the Divine Kingdom, being one of your guardians or protector, since I have really liked to know that there are more powerful warriors in the other multiverses, and I promise to give life for the well-being of this multiverse. Of course, Akumo, don't worry. The more powerful beings our multiverse will grow in power, so there is no problem. In this case, we should go to the palace of Zeno. Gods and angels, I thank you for your help. You can retire to your respective universes. All the gods, along with their angels, would go to their respective universes, while the other beings would go to the palace of Zeno, with the intention of officially naming Goku as the new supreme god, as well as Akumo as the new multiverse protector. On the other hand, in the confines of another multiverse, a beautiful demon, queen of her entire multiverse, had been able to observe everything that happened. Wow, I did not expect this. Yoruma, one of the most powerful warriors of Ryoma-sama, was defeated by a warrior from the multiverse of Zeno, who was considered the weakest of all. I have to talk to that warrior, since I want him for myself. The queen of the Todo Toga would stand up while releasing great pressure throughout her palace as well as the hells themselves, because the power of the goddess Toga came from all the hells of her multiverse. For that reason, it seemed strange to her that a being with absolute goodness in his heart had achieved the UFO marks. I still do not understand how a being with no evil at all has been able to reach those levels, since in the entire path of power there is always evil, avarice. I have to go to the palace of the Little Zen, but I really do not know how to do it. Meanwhile, returning to the multiverse of Zeno, all 12 universes were in great calm, for even the gods would be forced to have rigorous training, otherwise they would be removed from their positions. Thanks to this, they were the maximum authority of their universes, and if there was a possibility that a much more powerful warrior appeared than their god and angel, Akumo was in charge of eradicating it.
I believe that after the extinction of the original race of the Saiyan, I would have this company again, even this family, and I owe it all to you, Oku.
You have nothing to thank for, since thanks to you, I was able to awaken the true power of the Saiyan UFO. But I am surprised that there are more multiverses. I did not expect that. In those multiverses, there must also be very powerful warriors. I agree with you. I am even curious to know how powerful those warriors are, but only a certified being can cross the multiverse barrier. That's right, Akumo. It's a shame that the multiverse of Zeno, being the weakest of all, does not have the certificate to travel between multiverses. However, a great purple portal would form all around it, leaving Goku and Akumo surprised by the power that was perceived, while the silhouette of a beautiful woman could be observed. But do not worry, since I am here, and I do have the certification to travel between multiverses. I just wanted to meet you, Goku, the mortal who became a supreme god. Thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, do not forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel.